As a team, men's and women's team, we've been preparing for regionals pretty much the whole season. Making it to nationals is always a big goal for the team. And so, this week especially, we did a lot of visualization. We did a lot of prep work for the meet. It's kind of been a taper week, so, doing everything we can to feel good. The day of the race, kind of got there with some really, really nice weather, actually. But, when the gun went off, immediately we knew it was going to be a fast race. It's a course with a lot of ups and downs, a lot of hills. And so it actually starts pretty much on a really intense downhill to start. So we knew that, kind of coming through the first mile, things were going to be quick. But we as a team were kind of lucky. We had a box all the way on the end of the start line. So, as long as we were smart about how we kind of moved in on the groups that were, like everyone that was kind of moving up through the middle, we could be careful not to get kind of crushed in with that main pack of girls that started running. So basically, kind of staying patient through the first mile, and kind of settling in with the main group, and kind of knowing that I had the team there, and we were all like there and supportive of each other, and really, really excited to be able to race that day.
We were in box 42, so it was the farthest box out to the right, and the course started very wide and came into a funnel. And I was watching Lauren at the start. She stayed on the outside just as I asked her to do, and I said, just stay outside, stay away from the chaos, and just find your way in at the funnel. She executed absolutely perfectly. She was by herself. I was kind of laughing because she was so far away from everybody, but as soon as the funnel came in, she just kind of inserted herself in that top 15 group and stayed in that group the entire race.
Through the first mile, immediately settling in with the front pack of girls. I talked to my coach, kind of before the meet even started, and we talked about, making sure, because sometimes I have a tendency to, I don't want to say start slow, but maybe I was not up with other girls that I was finishing with. And so, one of the things that we kind of talked about was having the self-confidence to be where I should be. And so, talking with her beforehand kind of gave me that boost of, okay, I know that I can hang with these girls. I know that I can run with them. And so then kind of slowly as I moved through the race, just honestly listening to my body and moving with how I felt, slowly making some passes through. And then, by the time we hit about the 2 mile mark, I was in the top, pretty much in the top group. But then coming up with, I think maybe a K to go, I moved up towards the last hill, and I kind of, got into that second position. And at that point, I had a lot of people from the guys team that were kind of coming up on the side. They were screaming at me, they were telling me, they were like, you can catch her, you can catch her. And it was definitely a moment where I kind of had to say to myself, like, okay, she's right there. I'm gonna do everything I can, and so I kind of just went for it. And similar to the start, the race ends on a really nice downhill, and so kind of moving in on her, I just kind of locked my sights in and finished as hard as I possibly could, and that was right behind her.
She kept running, and she just held on to that front pack the whole way. There was a lot of undulations, a lot of hills. I said, be patient on the hills. I don't want you passing anybody on that hill section. And she just kind of patiently waited, kept moving up throughout the race. And then she kind of just locked herself in about halfway with that top 5 group. As she kept running on, I was at the 3K mark, and she was with that top 5 group. It was phenomenal. Rounded the last turn, and at the actual 5K, they were neck and neck, her and Megan Owens from center. And there was a long uphill that they had to climb before they rounded to the finish. And Megan kind of distanced Lauren on that last uphill. And as we're coming into the finish, you could see it's Megan, Lauren, and Megan, Lauren, Megan, Lauren, Megan, Lauren, and Lauren just kept closing on this downhill finish. I was right there at the finish line. It was like my jaw dropped like many other people coming into the finish line. And I had asked, I didn't know what the results were. I had asked for a photo finish, and they were graciously, the people from John Carroll showed me the photo finish. And I mean, it was not clear. However, looked like about a half a step, like maybe a couple toes worth of the win from Megan.
When I finished, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't even fathom that I had done as well as I did. I mean, my goal every single race is to get out and do the best that I can, and just may know that when I finish, I tried as hard as I possibly could. And so to finish in second was mind-blowing, and I was just incredibly grateful to feel good and to have been able to perform that well. And it was, like I said, the support from the team was incredible. And when I finished and I was able to see them and the guys' team that was cheering, they all had this look on their face of just, oh my gosh. And it was incredible.
I knew that she could be top 5 in this race. We did a whole rundown of the regional, of all the individuals that she would have to beat. And I think she just really outdid herself. If she can bring that kind of spirit to the national meet, I think there's no reason she can't be vying for an All-American position. I will do another quick study of all the regions and the people and how they've run throughout the year, but I'm usually pretty accurate. And I told her, in the region, you're gonna have to finish top 10. If you don't finish top 10, you're not making to the regional meet. And it was the 10th runner that made it out. And so I am gonna do that same study for her through the national meet, kind of comb through the regions, see where people were finishing. But I really believe she's getting stronger every week. And with this week of rest, her coming in with a little, vengeance to maybe knock down Megan this week, I think she's going to be in a really good position.
For the national meet, definitely going to take a bit of a rest week this week. Feel good. I still feel good after the race, so not a lot of worries there. But we haven't talked too much about strategy, but going into it, I mean, I've got the girls from the Great Lakes region that I know I can be up with. So, that's one thing to kind of keep an eye out for those girls that I know I can run with. Additionally, we were able to run the course earlier in the season, so I've kind of been able to have a preview of what to expect. It's a hillier course. It's back in Pennsylvania, which is where I'm from, so I'm excited to kind of be able to run back on the hills. But yeah, I mean, this week is going to be a week about feeling good. It's going to be a week about, kind of talking to coach and, doing the visualizations, going through everything, feeling good so that when I show up on Saturday, I can put in the work, know that I'm in the right place and just run as fast as I can.